Hello guys. Welcome back to GDT Tech Reviews. In this video we are going to do a detailed review and pick the top 5 best beginner cameras 2021. So let us get started and the review based on our studies and small research. If you have any personal suggestion, do let us know in the comments section. If you are for the first time, don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell icon for more videos. We will be also providing affiliates link to purchase from Amazon. Kindly use to for best offers and purchase from anywhere in the world. So let's get started. The EM10 Mark IV is lacking some of the more advanced features being touted by its pricier rivals, like phase detection autofocus, 4K 60p video and microphone headphone inputs. But it does a brilliant job as a stills camera that can shoot a little bit of quality video when needed. The camera's approachable button layout and combination of Bluetooth Wi-Fi functionality means it's primarily designed to tempt smartphone photographers over to an interchangeable lens camera. And as a micro four thirds camera, it has one of the widest selection of lenses around. Although the micro four thirds system was originally created by Panasonic and Olympus, a wide range of companies have now produced quality, affordable lenses for MFT-compatible cameras. This makes it a great system for beginners to invest in. One big thing this camera has in its favor is superb in-body image stabilization. This system is the same as the one used in Olympus' award-winning flagship EM1 series, and it works a treat for capturing images at slower shutter speeds handheld. The EM10 Mark IV is Olympus' answer to cameras like the Panasonic OLYMPUS G100, FUJIFILM X-T200 and Sony's EV1. And it manages to stand out with its classic OLMD styling, super compact body, and that excellent IBIS system. The 20MP resolution isn't going to grab any headlines, but it's a significant and welcome step up over its predecessor's 16MP sensor, and keeps it within range of the competition. While it's a great first camera for beginners, we'd also recommend the EM10 Mark IV to more experienced photographers on a budget or those looking to downsize from a DSLR. It doesn't deliver the battery or image quality performance of high-end mirrorless cameras or DSLRs, but it could be a great option as a recce or second camera. Despite being relatively new, we've already seen some discounts on the OLMD EM10 Mark IV, which bring its price more in line with rivals like the FUJIFILM X-T200. That said, if you're on a tighter budget, it's worth checking prices on this camera's EM10 Mark III predecessor. Ergonomic grip and button layout, tough polycarbonate body. 3-inch touchscreen, more flexible than before. The first thing that strikes you about the EM10 IV is its diminutive size. It's small enough to fit into the pocket of regular fit trousers, and that's with its 14-42mm M. Zuiko f3.5. The X-T200 has serious retro style. It's wrapped in a black leatherette, with the composite top plates finished in a lighter tone. We received the silver edition for review, but you can opt for dark silver if you prefer a more understated style, or champagne gold if you want to add some flair to your life. The body is smaller all around than a typical consumer SLR, 3.3 by 4.8 by 2.2 inches without a lens, and fairly light at 13.1 ounces. You can buy it as a body only, a good choice if you're upgrading from an older camera and already have a set of lenses. The X-T200 shares a lot of tech and looks, with the XA7, available for $100 less but without a viewfinder. There are some other differences, though. The X-T200 single-coat S-wrap has a rougher, pebble finish, and a slightly deeper hand grip. The overall feel is a little more premium, and gives more confidence if you plan on pairing it with a telephoto lens. I mostly used it with a newer entry in the catalog, the XC35mm f2. It has the exact same optics as the XF35mm f2WR, but drops weather protection and an aperture ring, and comes in at half the price. There's a built-in flash, as well as a hot shoe for an external strobe or wireless trigger. The switch to pop the flash open is at the left, nested below a customizable control dial. The dial can serve any number of functions. By default it cycles through the in-camera fill modes. The LCD is one of the largest you'll find in a consumer camera, at 3.5 inches diagonally with a 16:9 aspect ratio. It's sensitive to touch. The Canon EOS Rebel SL3 EOS 250D is not Canon's cheapest DSLR, but it's the cheapest we'd recommend buying. The Canon DSLR range seems to be going through a phase of consolidation rather than technological advancements, which is a polite way of saying that it hasn't done anything especially new for a while. The new EOS Rebel SL3 EOS 250D fits in that category, with Canon using technologies we've already seen in other Canon cameras to refresh the existing EOS Rebel SL2 EOS 200D. Inside is a 24.1 megapixel APS-C sensor of a type we see in lots of Canon cameras and similar in size and resolution to those used by competing Nikon, Sony and Fujifilm cameras, like the Nikon D5600, Sony A6400, Fujifilm X-T200 and even Canon's own mirrorless EOS M50. Here, it's matched up with Canon's latest Digicate processor, which gives the new camera a better image quality at high ISO settings than the older EOS Rebel SL2 200D, more advanced live view autofocus and 4K video, for the first time in a DSLR at this price. If you're using the viewfinder, the Canon offers a basic but effective 9-point autofocus system. That's not much by today's standards, but the focus points are spread evenly across more than half the width and height of the frame. They're clearly marked and it's a simple setup for novices to get used to. The live view autofocus is much more sophisticated. It uses Canon's own dual pixel sensor technology, which splits each photoset on the sensor in two in order to check distance using the same phase detection autofocus principle used by DSLRs. It's faster than the conventional contrast F used by many sensors in live view. In the Rebel SL3 250D, there are no fewer than 3,975 user-selectable AF points covering up to 88% of the frame width and 100% of the height, depending on the lens used. The Rebel SL3 EOS 250D is very small for a DSLR, especially in width and weight. The DSLR design means the body has to be thicker to accommodate the mirror, and while the Canon 18-55mm f4-5.6's STM kit lens is pretty compact, it's not a retracting type, so the combination of the thick camera body and lens makes the Canon a lot longer than rival mirrorless cameras like the Fujifilm X-T200. It's certainly compact for a DSLR, but it's a good deal bigger than a mirrorless model, especially if you weigh it up against Micro Four Thirds rivals from Olympus and Panasonic. The body has a good-sized grip, making the Canon easy and secure to hold one-handed. Panasonic has long been a strong player in the video market, and while its focus might have been on the more serious videographer in the past, the G100 has its sights firmly on the vlogging space. This means it's got a generous helping of video-centric specs that are designed to appeal to YouTubers. Naturally, there's 4K 30p video recording, albeit with a crop, but there's also a range of other frame rates and resolutions. There's also social media-friendly specs, like a video selfie mode, a social media frame marker, and a dedicated button for transferring your videos and shots directly to your smartphone ready for uploading. Other specs include a 20.3 mpmOS sensor, 5-axis hybrid image stabilization, a fully articulating touch-sensitive screen, an electronic viewfinder and a single SD card slot. Sold as part of a kit bundle, or as an optional extra, the new tripod grip is also aimed at the traveling YouTuber. It has inbuilt buttons for triggering either a still image or a video and can be used to hold the camera steady while walking and talking, used like a selfie stick to film yourself, or used as traditional tripod if you're presenting to camera. Considerably smaller and lighter than the G95 G90, smallest mirrorless camera with a fully articulating screen still offers a good number of controls and buttons. The Nikon D3500 is a 24-megapixel entry-level DSLR with an APS-C CMOS sensor that is cheaper, lighter, and has a longer battery life than the D3400 that it replaced. It was designed with the new photographer in mind and features a guide mode that will essentially teach you how to shoot in various situations. Key specifications: 24-megapixel APS-C CMOS sensor, Speed 4 image processor, ISO range of 100-25600, 11-point autofocus system through the optical viewfinder, shoots continuously at 5 frames per second, capable of full HD /1080-60p video, Bluetooth for image transfer. 921K fixed LCD screen, battery rated for 1550 shots per charge. It can be admittedly hard to get excited about entry-level DSLRs. They're bulky compared to mirrorless cameras and can be somewhat limiting in some respects, but for beginners they are a great place to start. The Nikon D3400 that this camera replaces was always very good, and the 24-megapixel sensor inside the D3500 is still one of the best APS-C sensors around.